friends, welcome to Vlogmas day 4. It is the 4th of December, wow. So I have already had my breakfast and uploaded yesterday's vlog. I felt like there wasn't any point in me sharing a time lapse of me uploading the previous day's vlog at the beginning of every single Vlogmas episode. So that is done. My reality today is that I am honestly not feeling great. I really struggled executive function wise to make my breakfast this morning, and that just frustrates my brain and makes me upset when I have days like that, because it's so debilitating to not be able to do the things that you can usually do. And I just stood in the kitchen, in the middle of the kitchen, just looking around, trying to figure out how I was gonna make my breakfast. Which sounds like a bizarre thing to say, but that's genuinely my experience this morning. And I'm feeling a little bit more emotional than my normal level. I'm feeling like I don't have very much energy. I'm feeling, honestly, I've got some health stuff going on that I'm mentally and in a written way kind of starting to prepare to go to the doctors about, because I know it's one of those where I'm probably going to have to advocate for myself, and so I'm gearing myself up to get to the point of being able to call them about it this week. And it's on my mind so much, and honestly making me very nervous and anxious, that I didn't sleep very well last night. All that to say that I honestly considered not filming today and taking a break from filming and just spending the day with myself, doing whatever I need to do to look after myself. But then I was like, actually no, like people, like I would want to see this content from someone, because I'm subscribed to lots of other neurodivergent folks, and this is the type of content that I want to watch because it makes me feel validated in my experience. It makes me feel less alone in it, I guess. So today I think what I want to do is just sit and do some journaling. I want to have some what I would call connection time. So I'm gonna probably do a bit of yoga, do some journaling, pull myself a card, things like that. And then try and get what's in my head out of my head onto a piece of paper. Thanks for joining me for day 4 of Vlogmas. Just as a little interlude from the journaling, I thought I would share with you a little snippet about the 2 cards that I just pulled. I love pulling cards as a connection practice. I'm realising as well now this mug is so apt to have my witchy moon phases cauldron shaped mug going on and I'm pulling cards. So the first one that I pulled that actually fell out of the pack was this one. It's so beautiful. Birthing a new age. And it says, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk. Walk it anyway. Often, I feel like I need to come closer to you for this. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous and do it anyway. We are birthing a new age. Then the next one is this one, Star Mother. Stunning. I've had this card quite a few times before. Oh, and by the way, I am using the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. They are one of my favourite decks to use and have been for a good few years. So, Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? You are more held than you could possibly imagine. Loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Let all of your worries, regrets, shame and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to journal about those cards for a bit. Just to update you quickly also on how I'm feeling now compared to this morning when I woke up. I oftentimes wake up feeling bad, and quite a number of those times, like 80% of those times, it is genuinely just because I need more rest and I'm not meant to get up yet. And I feel like so often I spend more time in bed just watching comfort YouTubers or reading a comfort book, and a couple of hours later I'm feeling much better. So just a reminder that these challenging feelings don't always stick around. Actually, most of the time they don't stick around. So the next thing that I'm just gonna do to help my brain today is get all the things that I'm percolating about going to the doctors, about the health stuff that I'm experiencing, onto my notebook. Because something that I find as an autistic person trying to process things is that I I just totally got distracted by some stuff on my wall. This is such an ironic experience right now because of what I'm about to tell you, but so I'm diagnosed autistic. I'm fairly certain that I have ADHD, and which is why it's funny, because I just completely got distracted from what I was saying because of some wax from my candle that has splashed onto my wall. Anyway, so as an autistic person trying to process things, I often find that things go round and around in my brain that I'm trying to make sense of, but because they're just going around and around in my brain, I struggle to, most of the time, have the capacity to do the processing that I need to do mentally. So if I get it out and start writing stuff down, it's like the page can hold more than my brain has capacity to hold. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write down about all of the health stuff that I've been experiencing so that I don't have to try to hold it all in my brain to make a plan of what I need to explain to the doctors about and stuff. So one of the things that I'm going in for is to start the process of getting a referral for ADHD. So I'm just going to use Unmasked by Ellie Middleton, which is an impeccable book. Please, if you're a neurodivergent person, explore this because it is stunning and so well written and so needed. But yeah, she goes into the diagnostic criteria of ADHD and autism in this book, but I'm going to go to the ADHD part because what she does, which I find is super revolutionary and so useful, is that she goes along the list of the NHS criteria and then translates that into what that actually might look like in your day-to-day life. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna write down everything else health-wise that's in my head, and then we'll see what happens after. Okay, so I just finished doing that. I made some revolutionary discoveries actually, because I've been thinking for maybe a year now that I might have hypermobile EDS, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, just because of things that I'd seen of people talking about it online, and because I know how common it is for people with hypermobile EDS to also be autistic or have ADHD. And a lot of my symptoms line up and have done since I was little. So I was just doing some research about it to kind of start the conversation with my doctor, because I have such a fear of them just dismissing me, because I have done for so many years. And I find just doctors in general really, really, really stressful and difficult to talk to, and they want to get people in and out of the door as quickly as possible, and I am a slow processor, and the stressful environment makes it even more difficult for me to get my words across and all of this stuff. So I felt like I needed to prepare to like armour myself with information, and I actually found a really amazing resource called the Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome GP Toolkit, and if you Google that, it just comes up. And that informed me that joint hypermobility syndrome, which is something that I was diagnosed with years ago by a physical therapist, is now an obsolete diagnosis. They don't diagnose it anymore because it actually is a form of hypermobile EDS. So I've been thinking all this time that I had this thing, and I actually do, which is, it doesn't feel like a relief yet because I feel like I still need to go to the doctors about it, but I doubt she's going to know anything about it. So I found some really good resources from that website that I'm going to print and take with me to my appointment. I know that lots of neurodivergent people experience these kinds of conditions, so if you're interested in what these resources are, let me know in the comments below and I'll send links, I'll post links in the comments. So yeah, I'm feeling better about it in the sense that I know what I'm talking about a little bit more, and I have resources that I'm going to take with me. I still have to get over the hurdle of making a damn appointment though, which is like a needle in a haystack in this country at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel generally a bit shaken and a bit like stressed from this whole thing, even though I feel mentally better about it. So I'm just gonna go out and go for a walk with the dog, even though it's chucking it down outside. I just need to move this energy. Hey friends, so I had a very late lunch after getting back from that walk and hung out with my mum for a bit, and now I've just made myself my daily mocha. I made decaf though this time because I was feeling a bit jittery earlier, and I just think extra caffeine is probably not the best idea right now. I don't know what my hair is doing, it's going crazy because, well, it doesn't know what to do with itself, because I had a beanie on to go for the walk and now it's just a bit dishevelled. If you're wondering about my hair, by the way, I do have dreadlocks. They're not dreaded in the ends. About 2 inches worth of the ends of them are not dreadlocks, but all that grows out of my head until this point is a dreadlock. And that is because I have such sensory issues with hair. I've gone through periods of time of having a shaved head. I had a shaved head for probably about a year and a half. About a year and a half ago. I started growing it again about a year and a half ago. And the reason why I chose dreads is before I shaved my head, I had dreads for about 8 years. And it was just the best thing ever, and I loved my dreads so much. and just, I cannot even describe the sensation of running my hands through my hair when I've got dreadlocks versus when it's actual loose hair. It's just like when you experience viscerally like the best stim ever. It's just a little hair spiel for you for this afternoon. I've decided that I'm going to play around with my corkboard above my desk. I have all these pictures and little pieces of art that I got printed that got delivered a few days ago, and I've been meaning to arrange them on my pinboard, so let's do that. So I'm going to light this clementine spice candle. Oh, it just smells so delicious. There we go. And I've got my mocha here. Today it is a minty one. Hair in my mouth. Oh, dreadful sensory experience. Is it it's still in my cup. The panic. Anyway, oh, the peppermint is just my favourite type of mocha. It's just the best flavour invention that ever existed. Mint, coffee and chocolate all at the same time. Okay, so let me show you my little organisational piles. So I have this section of bits and bobs here that are little postcards and arty things. This is actually a cork postcard that I got when I was in Portugal that is kind of like a print of the cliffs in Lagos in the Algarve. How cool is that? So yeah, that's that pile. Then this pile is pictures that have got people in them. So yeah. Then this pile is pictures that are of places and little bits of art and stuff and pretty things. And then this pile is just of ones that are weird shapes, because my theory is that if I've got different piles with people and places and interesting shapes, then I'll be able to kind of evenly disperse the ones that have got people in and the ones that are of places. And then the ones that are a bit weirdly shaped, I can like fit those in around the others. So this is the space that we're working with. So this is where we're at so far. I love it so far, but I'm just going to use my thermal printer to print a couple of other bits to go on there as well, and then I think it will be complete. So I thought I would show you a few of the different pictures and what they're all about before I close off the vlog for today. So let's first start with the most important boy in the world. This one. With his tongue sticking out, he looks ridiculous. Of course he had to be on the board. This is me and my Peruvian family over here. And the breakfast that they made me for my birthday, it had bacon and eggs and avocado on it, which is not something that they would usually have for breakfast. This is one of my favourite towns in Portugal called Algesur. This is the view of the town from the castle up above looking down. Me and Bestie and Machu Picchu. I love this photo so much. A few more friend pics from a goodbye dinner. This is me with the most gigantic cat in the world. That's me painting my mum's nails on the train on the way to go see Jade Adams at the Glee Club in Birmingham. That is the city of Cusco in Peru. That's me after hiking down this ridiculously long and steep trail to get from Machu Picchu at the top of the mountain all the way back down to the town. My knees were wrecked after that. And me most recently on a boat on my holiday to Portugal, where I was just expressing the most amount of autistic joy that I have in such a long time. I absolutely love being on the water and being in boats. I just find it so much fun. So there we are, folks. Thank you so much for joining me for day 4 of Vlogmas. I cannot wait to carry on tomorrow. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me. And leave a comment down below about whether you like putting photos and stuff like that around your space, and how else do you make your space your own, because I love making my room just like my lovely little nest, especially at this time of year when it can be so warm and cozy. Okay, see you tomorrow.